Tens of thousands of years ago, a group of ancient humans made a decision that would ripple through time, one that would shape our DNA today. They walked into a land of snow and giants and into the arms of another human species, the Neanderthals. What happened next was lost to time, until now. In a jaw-dropping breakthrough, scientists have sequenced the oldest modern human DNA ever recovered, and what they uncovered changes everything we thought we knew about our origins. Welcome to Ice Age Europe, roughly 45,000 years ago. A place where survival meant outsmarting nature, not just other predators. Think giant woolly mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and enough ice to make Canada jealous. This wasn't the Europe we know today. It was wild, cold, and brutal. Living here were the Neanderthals, our closest extinct relatives. Stocky, rugged, and built for the cold, these humans had already been thriving in Europe for over 300,000 years. They were no dumb brutes either. They made tools, cared for their dead, and even used fire like pros. These Ice Age locals had mastered the frozen landscape. But then came a disruption. Newcomers from the east, bringing with them strange tools, unfamiliar customs, and different genes. The stage was set for a meeting of species, and a genetic legacy that still lingers in most of us today. Enter Homo sapiens, our direct ancestors, arriving in Europe armed with innovation, adaptability, and a knack for shaking things up. These weren't just tourists from Africa. They brought entirely new behaviors and technologies. Think refined stone tools, symbolic art, maybe even the world's first fashion sense. Their arrival around 45,000 years ago wasn't just another migration. It was a tectonic shift in human history. But it wasn't exactly a peaceful Airbnb stay. These newcomers encountered Neanderthals, and things got intimate. Genetic evidence shows that every person of non-African descent today carries about 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA. That's right, most of us are walking around with a little caveman in us. But while we know interbreeding happened, the how, when, and who has remained murky. Until scientists decided to dig deeper, literally, into the bones left behind by some of Europe's first pioneers. To uncover the truth, scientists turned to two critical archaeological sites, Zun in Czechia and Rennes in Germany, separated by about 230 kilometers and around 45,000 years of snow, stone, and mystery. At Zun, researchers found a nearly complete skull of a woman who lived during that crucial time. Early genetic testing revealed she was a modern human, but the context was fuzzy. No clear cultural or environmental clues to connect her to the broader human story. Meanwhile, in the chilly caves of Rennes, scientists uncovered bones linked to a distinct archaeological culture known as the LRJ, short for Lincolnbian Renisian Jasmanovichian. Yeah, try saying that 3 times fast. This culture is famous for its unique stone tools, but nobody knew who made them. Neanderthals or modern humans? Initially, only mitochondrial DNA, inherited from mothers, could be retrieved from the Rennes bones, confirming they were Homo sapiens. But mtDNA only tells part of the story. To really solve the mystery, scientists needed nuclear DNA, something much harder to get after 45,000 years underground, and that's exactly what they did. What they found next was the breakthrough we've been waiting for. In a stunning leap forward, scientists managed to extract and sequence the nuclear genomes from 13 human bone fragments found in the Rennes cave. Nuclear DNA holds the full genetic blueprint, offering the kind of detailed insight you just can't get from mtDNA alone. And the results? Pure scientific gold. The analysis revealed at least 6 individuals, including a mother and daughter, as well as several other close relatives. These weren't just ancient bones scattered by time. They were a family. Even more surprising, 2 of these individuals were genetically close to the woman from Zun, suggesting they all came from the same extended group of pioneers. That means the Zun skull, once an isolated mystery, was actually part of the LRJ culture. For the first time, researchers could directly connect modern human remains to the tools of this elusive Ice Age culture. One sample, dubbed Renis 13, was so well preserved it gave scientists one of the highest quality early human genomes ever sequenced. That's like hitting the genetic jackpot. Combined with the enhanced Zun genome, these findings represent the oldest high-quality modern human DNA ever successfully sequenced. This wasn't just about decoding old bones, it was about unlocking a lost chapter in the story of our. So, what did these early Europeans actually look like? Thanks to genetic analysis, we now know they likely had dark skin, dark hair, and brown eyes, a look quite different from the lighter complexions that would evolve in Europe much later. But looks weren't the only thing scientists uncovered. By studying how much DNA these individuals shared, researchers could estimate the size of their population. And the verdict? Small. Like, really small. We're talking about a tiny mobile group, probably just a few hundred people, spread across vast, frozen landscapes. Picture a hardy band of hunter-gatherers trudging through glacial valleys, clutching flint tools, and trying not to become mammoth chow. This paints a vivid picture of Europe's first modern human pioneers, isolated, resilient, and living on the very edge of survival. And yet, despite their tiny numbers, their story ended up echoing through our DNA, just not quite in the way you'd expect. Now let's talk about one of the juiciest parts, Neanderthal DNA. Scientists already knew that modern humans interbred with Neanderthals, but this study pinned down exactly when it happened. By analyzing the lengths of Neanderthal DNA segments in Renis 13's genome, researchers could calculate how many generations ago the mixing occurred. Shorter DNA segments mean more time has passed since the interbreeding. Using this method, plus radiocarbon dating, they narrowed it down to a single event between 45,000 and 49,000 years ago. This timing is huge. It means that before these early humans even arrived in Europe, a shared ancestor had already mingled with Neanderthals, likely somewhere in the Middle East or Central Asia. That admixture then got passed down to all non-African humans alive today. So yeah, your distant great-great-great-grandma might have had a bit of Neanderthal drama in her love life. And that ancient rendezvous? It shaped the genetics of billions of people worldwide. Here's the twist. Despite their pioneering spirit, these early Europeans left no direct descendants in today's population. That's right. This entire lineage either went extinct or was absorbed by later waves of humans moving into Europe. It's like finding the first draft of a novel that was never published, but still influenced everything that came after. Their genes, their culture, their tools, everything faded into the background, making way for newer, more dominant groups. But that doesn't make their story any less important. In fact, it adds a haunting, almost poetic layer to our understanding of how unpredictable evolution really is. This discovery isn't just about one group of Ice Age trailblazers, it's about rewriting our understanding of early human migration. These findings show that there were divergent waves of Homo sapiens entering Europe, some of which didn't make it into the genetic future. It raises big questions. How many other lost lineages are out there, waiting to be discovered? What other secrets lie buried in the caves of Europe or frozen in the Siberian permafrost? With better technology and more digs happening every year, we're just scratching the surface of our species' wild and winding journey. The sequencing of this ancient DNA didn't just uncover lost relatives, it cracked open a forgotten chapter in human history. If you're fascinated by the science of our origins and want more mind-blowing discoveries, hit that subscribe button. Because the deeper we dig, the wilder the story of us becomes.